Hey everyone, welcome back to Resin Me Up. So today is Make a Mold Friday. So let me show you what we're going to make a mold of today. And that is this. Isn't it pretty? So it took me a whole hot minute because I got these last year, maybe the year before, I can't remember, at Target. And it's glass. And it came with a little light in the bottom of it, and it took me a hot minute to get that out. They had it really glued in there. And so this is the light that goes in the bottom of it. Well, I didn't want it in there because I didn't want any silicone or anything to get into it. Well, this is the container that I'm going to use for it, but it does not have any resin in the bottom. And the reason for that is because, do you see how that's elevated in the bottom there? Well, that literally matches that perfectly. And so what I'm going to do is put some hot glue around this, and I'm going to glue that down because I don't want any silicone to get down inside there. So that's what I'm going to do, is glue it down to that. And then that will keep the silicone from getting in and around that. Does that make sense? So I'm going to put some glue, hot glue, around it. And my heat gun is all glued, or all heated up. You know what? It would really help if I'd put my eyes on so I can see. That's better. If I could just, there we go. And this is already heated up because I was using my heat gun to get that glue that was around that other thing. All right. Now I'm just going to take this and go right inside there. Okay, got her in there. Now, today we are going to use a different shore hardness of silicone. Today we're going to try 15A. I personally am not a 15A person, but someone in the comments last week said that they would like to see the different hardnesses of silicone. So today we're going to use 15A. Last week I used 10A. Well, not last week because last week was Halloween. The week before I used 10A. So today we're going to try the Bond Crafter silicone rubber, and it is a 15A. So, excuse me, choking on my own spit. So today we're going to use it. Now, 15A is, hopefully there's enough in here. Oof. Do I have any more of this? Yes, I do. Okay, so your 15A is a much, get this open here if I can. So this is a 1-to-1, 2-component platinum silicone rubber, 15A hardness after curing. 15A is the most suitable hardness for making various molds. Professional mold making, easy to replicate details. This product is composed of resin A and resin B. Resin A is your base glue and resin B is your curing agent. So there are some core advantages to using the Bond Crafter silicone rubber. It is compliant with food contact standards. Efficient and easy to use. The initial curing is 30 minutes at 25 degrees Celsius. Complete curing in 4 hours. The finished product can withstand high temperatures up to 200 degrees Celsius. It does have a tensile strength greater than 5 MPa and can be demolded more than 100 times without aging. 0 bubble troubles. Say that 5 times. Bubble trouble, bubble trouble. The low viscosity formula combined with self-defoaming technology easily achieves a mirror smooth mold effect. So, let me see. It says the recommended container types are plastic, such as disposable plastic cups, bowls, yogurt boxes. This is a reusable food container that I told you guys I use these a lot. When making large molds, a temporary pouring groove can be built with a hard enclosure and bottom plate. I didn't make a bottom plate on this because, like I said, I wanted that center piece to grab onto that center part to keep the silicone from falling into that groove. Metal containers such as stainless steel bowls, trays, sturdy and durable with fast heat dissipation. Paper containers such as wax paper cups, thick cardboard boxes, environmentally friendly, lightweight, and suitable for short-term use. Prohibited containers are foam plastic containers, containers made of sulfur, oil materials, and inferior plastic boxes such as PVC. To measure this, you measure A and B in the ratio of 1:1 by weight. If you don't have an electronic scale, it is also possible to measure in a 1:1 by volume. There may be slight differences in the hardness of the finished product. So, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So let me get my mixing cup here. And I do have a little bit left from a previous pour in case we need it. So I am not sure what this container is ounce-wise. I don't have a clue. So we're going to wing it. We're going to wing it today. So cross your fingers, y'all. Okay, let me get these all these emptied into this, and then we'll mix this up and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I've mixed this. I'm at the tail end. My timer's getting ready to go off. I mixed it for 4 minutes. I mixed it by hand, and as you can see, got all those bubbles in there. Now I am going to go and run it through my vacuum chamber, and I'm going to degas all those bubbles out of there. I think it's, even though the instructions said that this stuff will degas on its own, I don't ever trust that. I always degas my silicone. And that, I think, is an important step when you're doing molds, because if you ever are going to put your molds in a pressure pot, if you have bubbles in your mold, that will affect the outcome of your molds in a pressure pot if you have bubbles in your silicone. So I'm going to go and I'm going to put this in the vacuum chamber and debubble it. Okay, BRB. Thought I would bring you guys over and show you what it looks like when silicone degasses. It's hard to see because my lid is so icky, but just letting some of the pressure off because, like I said, it was so full of bubbles. I had something in my vacuum chamber one time that had glitter in it, and it was getting ready to run over, and this is the valve that you use to let the air out, and I turned it too fast and all of the resin went flying up on my thing, and it was a mess. So as you can see, the bubbles are much less, and so I'll let that run for just a little bit. Didn't take very long. So I'll put you guys back up on the tripod and I'll be with you in just a second. And so now you see there's no bubbles. So now we're going ahead and pour and pray. Everybody pray that we have enough. Okay, here we go. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking that the silicone came in bigger bottles from Bond Crafter. I know that's what I was thinking. Okay, I'll put you on hold for just a second. Okay, guys, we're going to try an experiment. So, when you look at the ingredients on Bond Crafter's silicone rubber for mold making, okay, they're listed what A has and what B has, okay? Now, I got out their Flex rubber ingredient or bottles, okay? And they have their ingredients listed on the back of each one of theirs. Same exact ingredients except for one is different, and it's only 1% difference in the part A. The part B has the exact same ingredients, and part A only has one ingredient and it's 0.1% difference. So guess what? We're going to mix up some Flex rubber and we're going to finish pouring that. It's the same exact thing. What harm can it do, right? Experiment! I mean, seriously. I mean, what harm could it do? It's the same exact thing, right? So we're going to experiment today. Why not? And I guess if it doesn't work, then it's on me. So let me get a cup here and a scale, because this has to be measured by weight. And we're going to try it out. I mean, what do we have to lose, right? Okay. And you really have to be thinking on your toes. When you run out of something, you have to be thinking. Okay. So B. And when you look at the ingredients, like I said, they're exactly the same, which would explain why it feels so much like silicone when you make it. All right, so that's 3. I hope 6 ounces will cover this. Here goes nothing, y'all. I'm going to get this mixed up. and we'll see how this reacts. Once I get this mixed up, I'll be right back. Okay, guys, here goes nothing. If anything, this is a softer silicone. It's going to go down and mix with the rest of it, and it's probably going to take this and make it not 15A anymore. So, gosh darn it. Well, I'll get the rest mixed up and get it on top of here, and then I will be back when it's time to take this out of the mold. You guys don't need to keep sitting here watching me trying to get this out of here or get this full. So I will mix up some more, get it filled, and I'll be back on demold. It says 4 hours, so we'll see what we can do. Sorry, guys. I literally thought that those silicone bottles were bigger. I guess I should have paid more attention, but let's hope this works. And if it does, then I mean, I wouldn't do it all the time, but it's working in a pinch if it works. And yeah, so all right, we'll see you on demold. Bye. Hey y'all, welcome back. Guess what? I went ahead and demolded this because I knew it was going to take 2 people to get it out. And so my husband helped me, and definitely it took 2 people. However, this is going to be an interesting little mold because I had to use, I broke my fingernail doing all that. I had to use the flex rubber on the bottom. It worked fine, not a problem. However, because when I filled this all the way to the top of this, like I couldn't put any more in it. Well, it didn't cover the very tip of the tree. So what I have is a little bitty tiny hole where the tree is not covered. So the tip, the very tip. So here's what I think I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put a thin layer of silicone over the top of this. And I think because, you know, silicone will adhere to silicone, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a piece of plastic around this, and I'm just going to mix up the Let's Resin, and I am just going to pour another layer on top of this because we just need to seal that hole. So lesson number 1, do not try to pour a mold until you know you have enough silicone to pour it. But, you know, guys, the thing about the Bondcrafter Flex Rubber is it is literally a soft silicone. Like, it's squishy. So, you know, it could possibly make, you know, like a really soft mold. If you wanted something that was really soft, I mean, I certainly wouldn't use all of that, like, you know, like pour a big mold like this. I definitely wouldn't do that. But I mean, I think if you have something small, you know, that you wanted to pour, heck yeah. I mean, it worked, you know, it didn't go down inside the other silicone. It stayed here. But you know what? It worked. It helped, you know, me out in a jam. And, you know, this part is squishy. This part is not. And I think literally that if you wanted to pour some small things, you know, it would literally work for little, you know, little molds. Little. I mean, I wouldn't definitely pour a big mold like this. Definitely not. So this is definitely the tree. It came out great. I just had to have him pull it out. What I was looking for was the shape of the tree, and I think we got that. And I think it looks great. It's nice and shiny, and I think it'll be a good mold for the Christmas trees. So, yeah. Now I just have to get this fixed down here, and we'll be golden. The actual mold worked this time. Did we run into difficulties? Sure. But you know what? It happens. It happens, and you have to figure out a way to overcome, you know, the things that you're, you know, that you're doing, and it happens. And so that's what I did. If I wouldn't have had this squishy silicone here, you know, I would have had to let it sit, order more silicone, wait for it to get here, and then I would have had to pour, you know, more on top of it. Which, or I guess I could have used the Let's Resin, but I don't like mixing brands. You know, I like to stay within the same company with things. So, all right, y'all, I'm going to try to fix this, and I will let you guys know how, oh, this was covering that. It did seep underneath, so my glue wasn't as solid as I thought. So I'm going to get this cleaned up and everything, and then we might pour in this tomorrow, maybe. Okay? All right, y'all. So this is how you don't pour a mold when you don't have enough silicone. So, but yeah, I will get this video up tonight so you guys can see, and then we'll come back tomorrow. And all right, y'all. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about all my obstacles today and how I fixed them and what you think. And hit that like button. And heck, if you guys had any better ideas on what I could have done, or, you know, what you thought I should have did, then by all means, put it out there. I want to hear it. And because, you know, I don't claim to be the smartest person in the world, but, you know, I did what I thought was best for the moment. And yeah, so, all right, y'all, remember, stay curious, stay creative, and always stay positive and be kind. And we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll pour something in here. Okay. All right, y'all. Good night.